Well, hello, baby motivators. It's your girl, Queen Motivation, coming through this morning, hitting you guys with a lovely topic. But before I do, I need you guys to thumbs up this video, comment down below, let me know what you think. Share, share, share. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, then go ahead and do so for me. It is such a privilege just to be able to sit in front of this camera and do these videos. And I appreciate you guys who really do support me from the bottom of my heart. Those who actually watch my videos, share my videos, like my videos, and also comment down below. I really do appreciate you guys. Like I stated in a few videos back, I'm not caring if it's one person, two people, 3, 4. If that's all that watch my videos, I'm just grateful that you guys take the time out of your busy day to watch my videos and support me. That means so much to me. Now, the topic that I really want to talk about is trauma bonding, because a lot of us are really trauma bonding with our significant others, with some close friends, with some family members, and it's time that we break the trauma bonding. Now, if those of you who don't really understand what trauma bonding is, I'll just give my version. You can always Google, look it up, and just get a full understanding of what trauma bonding is. But in my opinion, what I believe trauma bonding is when you're bonded to someone through trauma. A lot of us have been through so much trauma in our lives that we automatically assume that what we're in is considered bonding, but it's actually we're reliving the trauma that we thought we got away from many years ago. A lot of us are in abusive relationships because we're used to being abused. A lot of us are in emotionally distressed relationships because a lot of us have been going through that in our childhood. A lot of us are in these all upside down, non-communication type relationships, a bunch of physical hurt, a bunch of emotional hurt, a bunch of different types of abuse, because that's what we experience coming up. Now, me personalizing this video a little bit about myself, I have definitely connected myself through so many people through trauma, because they say it, it's been said, so many people say it, hurting people hurt people. And growing up, I was hurting a lot and I was going through a lot. I was really trying to figure myself out. And at some point in my life, I kind of decided that I was going to just stop hurting people, because the more I hurt people, the more I was hurting myself. But still connecting to people through trauma, because I be craving certain things, if that makes sense, like attention, wanting to feel needed in some aspect in your life. And a lot of the times that caused me to really be connected to people, because I was really begging and craving for the things that I didn't know how to give myself. A lot of you grow up in homes where you feel like you're loved because your family, they support you on certain levels and they show you that they're really there for you. And then there's those families that really kind of buy their way into the relationship. Like, they really don't spend time with you. They don't communicate with you. They don't really tell you how much they're proud of you. Like, they don't give you anything to really grow off of. So they pay their way through being a parent, if that makes sense. Like, instead of sitting down with your child to see what's going on with your child, to see what's mentally bothering your child, or to just get to know your child or understand your child. A lot of parents are just buying their children off, because it's easier to buy your children off than to actually understand your child because of the trauma. When you've been through so much trauma in your life and you're not used to a family connection, or you're not used to being connected, then it's kind of hard for you to connect even when you have your own family, your own children. It's kind of hard. Some of us learn how to rewrite the way we were born, the way we lived, the way we grew up. Some of us know how to redo that because we don't want our children to feel how we felt. Some of us don't even realize that we're actually trauma bonding with our children, because in our minds we think that we're loving our children, but we're not giving our children enough. Me as a parent, I moved a lot. I traveled all over the place. I was always in one state to the next state to the next state, and I was taking my children through that. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm doing what's best for me, but I never sat down and really thought about how is this benefiting my children. Like, Do I need to like stop for a second and sit down and let them get to experience life without all that movement and get to know themselves? My children really didn't get to know themselves until we was stable for a while. And I believe that when you do things in your childhood, you know, or in your parenting, it does have an effect on children. A lot of people think it doesn't. They say, well, he didn't learn that from me. Well, certain things do stem from home, you know, and certain children, they learn on the streets. But if your child's getting a lot of attention at home, then your child won't grow up craving that attention. Now, your child may still go off and do their own thing. That's fine. But at least you know you did the best that you can do. A lot of us are really trying to force certain things on our children because we want our children to be different than how we were. But in my mindset, I feel like we need to give our children their own mindset and stop trying to give them our mindset, because our mindset is always going to be different from our children's mindsets. The era changes. So what we're used to, our children are not used to, and what our children are used to, the generation under them are not used to. So we cannot just continue to just force so many different things on our children. We can love our children through a lot of things. A lot of our children are bonded to us through trauma. You know, we're traumatizing our children based off the trauma that we grew up in. A lot of us have lack of communication with our children because we didn't have that communication growing up in our own home. A lot of us maybe abuse our children because we come from a home of abuse. So in our mind, that's normal. A lot of us come from lack of emotions because we grew up and there was no emotions in the home. There was no I love you, son, I love you, daughter, I'm proud of you, son, I'm proud of you, daughter. So a lot of people don't know how to connect outside of home. So a lot of people stay connected to what they're used to. And that's trauma. Trauma can mean so many different things. Trauma can be so many different things. And trauma can definitely, trauma can definitely cause so much in your adulthood. If you don't find peace or find some way to get some kind of healing or try to understand yourself and get to know yourself, then you're going to continue to connect to people through trauma. Trauma is something that leaves you emotionally scarred, maybe even physically scarred, but at the end of the day, it leaves you scarred. And when you're scarred, you have to repatch and reheal yourself, but don't keep picking at the same wounds. You know, trying to see if you keep picking at the same wounds, are you going to get a different reaction? No, you're going to get the exact same reaction if you continue to pick those old wounds. Leave the old wounds alone. If you finally close those old wounds and you finally heal from that and you got away from that connection that was not a good connection and you finally found a sense of peace, stay connected to that. Don't go back. There are so many people who keep going back because they're used to it. Like you have people that have an addiction. They get away from the addiction and then they go right back to the addiction because they're used to it. They don't know any other way. So they go back to what they're used to. It's like when you release an inmate. He goes back to what he's used to because he doesn't have anything else, or she doesn't have anything else to fall back on. If you're released from the prisons and you go right back into the same lifestyle and you go right back dealing with the same people, it's because you're used to it. That's all you've known. Personal experience, again, my brother, he's been locked up for over 20 years. He gets out, he's finally a free man. But since he's been a caged man majority of his life, all he knows is caged behavior. When you're used to caged behavior, then you're going to do things to put you right back in that cage. So when I think about my brother, I think about how he was a free man, but he was still a prisoner in his mindset. When you're still a prisoner in your mindset, it really changes the way you react to the world, the way you react to people. So if you are a prisoner in your own mindset, break free from being a prisoner in your mindset so you can actually be free in the world. See, my brother was a prisoner in his mindset, and he was also a prisoner inside of the walls. He never really got a chance to express his true meaning and what he had to offer the world because the only thing he knew was caged animal behavior. And since that's all he knew, that's what he went right back to. And now he's back in jail learning that caged behavior is going to get you caged again. Hopefully this time when he gets out, He'll make better decisions. He'll learn to free his mindset and stop being a prisoner in his mindset. So using him as an example, if you guys are having problems getting away from your childhood, it's because you're still a prisoner in your childhood. If a lot of you guys are still doing things that you used to do in your childhood and you haven't yet figured out how to get away from those things, that means you're still a prisoner in your past. You're still a prisoner in the things that you're used to in your childhood. You do not have to get used to the things in your past, because in your present you are supposed to become a new person, doing different things, doing better things, putting yourself in a better position, hanging with different people. You become who you're around. So if you're around a whole bunch of people with no dreams, no hopes, no life, just existing, then you're going to become that same person. If you want to be successful, you have to hang around successful people. If you want to be heard, you have to hang around people who make noise. If you want to be free, you have to hang around people that's free and full of peace. You cannot consider yourself different if you continue to hang with the exact same thing that kept you a prisoner for so long. It's time to break free. It's time to be loose. It's time to let go. It's time to forgive yourself. First and foremost, forgive yourself. That's the most important part of forgiving people in general, is forgiving yourself. Understanding that there are some things that you could not help. There are some things that you could have done different. We understand all that, but we don't have time to focus on the past and the what if I would have did it this way. We're not focusing on anything about the what ifs. We're only going to focus on the right now. So I can. We don't want to hear I can't. We want to hear I can. Not, what if I would have did it this way? No, I'm going to do it this way. This is what we need to start saying. We don't need to focus on what we should have did, because whatever we should have did, we didn't do it, so it didn't get done. So leave that alone. New topic. This is what I'm going to do. Stop saying I can't, because every time you say you can't, you're building I can't lifestyle. You're building things that can't happen for you. Things will not come to you because you can't. And when you can't, you're pushing away the blessings that's supposed to come to you. Stop saying I can't. From now on, I can. I will. I am. Okay? That's what we want to hear. Not what if I would have done it this way. It's I'm going to do it this way. These are the words that I would like to hear you guys say. These are the words I would love to hear you guys say, because I'm speaking for myself. These are the things I need to say to myself, and these are the things you need to say to yourself. So, breaking away from connections of trauma bonding is definitely work, but it's definitely worth it. So, if you really want to get away from trauma bonding, I will tell you that if you don't know how to do it yourself, go ahead and seek professional help, which a lot of us don't want to seek professional help because in our mindset, we're automatically going to be deemed crazy. But here's the thing. Sometimes you need to go outside of your communication. Your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, whatever the case may have you. There's a time where you may not be able to talk to them the way you need to speak to someone else. Nothing wrong with professional help. Nothing wrong with seeing a therapist. There's a lot of mental health going down, and there are people who are so afraid to say something because they don't want to be judged. Stop judging people based off of what they're going through, because you don't know their story, you don't know their pain. And since you don't know their story, you will never know their glory. And since you don't know their pain, you will never know their gain. So stop judging people like you haven't been through something, like you haven't done anything, like your life have always been perfect. No, we've all come through something. We've all been through something. We've all experienced something. Neither one of us are perfect. So stop deeming people and just putting everybody in this box that you think they belong in. No, it's time to free ourselves. It's time to set your mindset free. Once you change your mind, your behavior follows. But as long as you keep that same mindset, you're going to continue to do the same things. You're going to continue to get the same reactions. And it's going to be a pattern from time to time to time until you finally break free. If you have not yet broken free, let's break free. Let's discontinue trauma bonding. Let's love on ourselves more. Let's be great. Let's celebrate ourselves more. Let's be proud of ourselves more. Let's just do things that's going to benefit us to become better, live better, love better, heal better, work better, everything better. All things new, all old passed away. I hope this message really touched somebody. I hope this message meant something to somebody. And I really hope this message gets through to somebody. I love you guys. You guys are my favorite people of the day. When you do watch my videos, it's such a blessing. Again, thank you for all that you do. I appreciate you guys. Baby motivators, I love you. Y'all stay blessed and continue to be great on purpose.